What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. This is going to be Game Week 2 Premier League predictions. Last week I got 9 points, and that's based off of outcome and scoreline. 1 point for outcome, 1 point for scoreline, and I got 9 points. The max points is 20, so 50%. So let's begin. First up is Brighton versus United. Brighton last week showed everyone that they mean business by showing up to the Goodison Park and battering Everton, getting Ashley Young so mad that he got a red card. So 3-0 they won. And then United at Old Trafford had to scrape a last minute winner against Fulham from Xerxes. So they weren't showing that they were really there. They weren't that bad, but Fulham was right there next to them. For me, since this is at Brighton's home, I feel like they'll have majority of the ball this game, and they will be scoring goals, 2 to be exact. And United, I just feel like they're gonna be doing this throughout the season, getting that last minute goal, and I feel like it's gonna happen this game as well. I'm gonna go for 2 for United, so 2-2. Next up is Spurs versus Everton. Spurs didn't really have a good first game. They were going at Leicester. They just couldn't finish the goal. It came to Pedro Porro to finally score a goal for them. And on the other hand, Everton, I just talked about them, did terrible at Goodison Park. Got a red card. They don't look up for it. I feel like Spurs will have an easier game here. I'm predicting a 2-0 since it is at Tottenham's stadium, and Everton are just bad. Next up is West Ham versus Crystal Palace. Two teams that didn't get what they wanted last game week. West Ham losing to Aston Villa, and Crystal Palace losing to Brentford. Crystal, to be fair, should have drawn, since that as a goal was a goal, and the ref just being a ref. And West Ham didn't impress me. They didn't really create many chances against Villa. I expected more from West Ham. They didn't use all their transfers, like Todibo. He wasn't in from the start. Fulkrug wasn't in from the start. Maybe once these players are put in, maybe they'll be better. It's just not enough for me to put West Ham over Crystal at this point. It is at Crystal's home, so I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw in this game. Next up is Southampton versus Forest. Southampton, who went against Newcastle, got a Brereton Diaz got Char a red card, and they had a possession majority of the game, but they still didn't do anything with it. They had shots, but they weren't on target. They weren't clinical. They weren't efficient. Forest, on the other hand, I feel like they played a lot better than Bournemouth in their game. They just couldn't finish as well. It's a match of teams that can't finish, basically. For me, since I rate Forest a little higher, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 to Forest. Next up is Fulham versus Leicester. Two teams who had a decent first game week, especially Leicester holding off Spurs, and Fulham, well, they lost. I feel like both these teams won't be scoring this game. I'm predicting a 0-0. I don't really know who's going to be putting the goals for Fulham. Muniz, maybe, if he starts scoring, not sure. And then Leicester, I feel like Vardy won't be scoring every game week. He had a good first game, but I don't think that's happening every game week. I'm going to go with 0-0. Next up is City versus Ipswich. City had a decent first game. I wouldn't say it was the best. I am a City fan, so I have high expectations, and that wasn't the best game. Chelsea could have easily tied that game, but they didn't because they're Chelsea. And Ipswich also had a good game. Well, good first half of the game. They were really coming at Liverpool, showing them that they're here to play. I feel like they were, in that first half, they were the best promoted team from this game week, if that makes sense. But I still don't think it's enough to go to Etihad and have and get a win or even a draw. I think City will have a better game here since it is at home, and they'll win 3-1. Ipswich will get a surprise goal. Next up is the game of the game week, the game I'll be watching for sure, and that's Villa versus Arsenal. Villa having a good first game, getting their win against West Ham. It was late in the game, but they still got it. They can scrape a goal. And Arsenal, who had I say as well, decent game. It wasn't the best showing for them against Wolves. Wolves were also coming at them, but it was just like a 7 out of 10 performance. It wasn't anything special. The game will be at Villa Park, so I'm expecting a little bit more from Villa. And this may be what I want instead of what I think is going to happen, but I'm going for a 2-1 win to Villa. Next up is Bournemouth versus Newcastle. This game will be played at Bournemouth's home. I think that Areola still has some things to figure out. Their goal was sort of like it was almost lucky in my eyes. I think that Bournemouth got that goal, so I think they should have lost against Forest. And Newcastle, they show that they have grit, I guess. They got a goal even though they had a red card. Jolinton getting that goal. So I feel like Newcastle will be winning this game 2-1. I just feel like Newcastle is a little bit too much for Bournemouth, and Areola hasn't gotten everything figured out. Next up is Wolves versus Chelsea. Neto going back to Wolves and showing them what they sold, what they're missing out on. Chelsea need to pick it up because against us they missed too many chances. Jackson especially, Bozo. People were crapping on Enzo, but I think he had a decent game. There was a couple of players that had decent games. Their fullbacks weren't bad. This game is at Wolves' home, so I feel like Wolves will have some of the ball as well and go at Chelsea as well. I think it's going to be low scoring, 1-1 for me. I just don't know who is going to be getting these goals. I think people we don't expect, someone like Lamina maybe, and then like Fofana, a center back, more defensive players, not their attackers, because I don't like any of their attackers. And then the last goal of the game week is Liverpool versus Brentford. Liverpool at the second half against Ipswich turned up. They got 2 goals in 5 minutes, and then the game was theirs. They closed it out easy for them. If that's the Liverpool that shows up, then this game could be high scoring for Liverpool side. Brentford also had a decent game against Crystal, and Mbeumo and Wissa back at it again. They are a dangerous duo, and they show they don't really need Tony. I feel like if this team gets rid of Tony, they'll still be fine. They'll still stay up. But I don't think that duo is enough for Liverpool. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Liverpool at Anfield. That's everything, guys. That's my predictions for Game Week 2. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah, goodbye.